The story of Smart Hub is a very long. I think way back in 2016. Mpaka penye tumefika saa hizi. It has a lot of misses, a lot of hits, a lot of opportunities, a lot of pains, a lot of sweat, a lot of what do you call them? It has all those, the ups and the downs, the goods and the bad. Unaona vile Shiko amesema, when you order, you say I want my order by noon. Making sure that that order gets to that home by noon. Yeah, nikibarua. I remember one time, and that I think for a very long time is a time I did deliveries for Smart Hub groceries. There's one time we left the market at around 7 in the evening. And we had some 2 orders, one in Gitanga Road and another one in somewhere those sides, tuende kwa Kina Soksi. And then from kwa Kina Soksi, we are going all the way to Ruiro. And then from Ruiro, we're coming to Edenville. Then when you come to by the time tunafika Edenville, ilikuwa some minutes to 11. Then you go and knock the wrong house. You know, and then you start explaining, oh, I'm so and so, we are coming from Smart Hub groceries, and then somebody asks, what's that? I didn't order anything. So in the course of making those successes, there's a lot of hard work that goes in, a lot of dedication, a lot of unseen things, up to the point of seeing Smart Hub making a step. For me, it's always it's a blessing. Sometimes you challenge yourself, sometimes you're challenged, you know, all those things. And for me also, it's to thank the team that is always behind. You know, sometimes they are seen, that sometimes they are never seen. The people who do the packaging, people who wake up early to go buy whatever needs to be bought, people who package, the person who does deliveries. Actually, I think the hardest bit for Smart Hub is delivery. Because the traffic in this city, I think tunaisikianga tu. If you do deliveries, then you'll know Nairobi needs a lot of changes. You drive Maka, you get a muscle pull on your back, on your legs, and tomorrow you are waking up to do the same thing. So that is one of the biggest challenges. So for me, it's also the customers, the friends, and everybody. You know, you might not be called a customer, but you're benefiting this company in this way. You see a post, you like, you comment, you're taking Smart Hub to the next level. You're just exposing the brand of Smart Hub groceries. And for me, it's a good thing, and I'm grateful for that. Also to encourage you out there, when you want to start your business, or in all, should we say, if you're starting anything, initially there will be a lot of discouragement. I remember the time you're starting, somebody will order 3 liters of milk, and the margin you're making is 5 shillings per liter. And maybe you're driving to go pick, and sometimes some of those things don't really make sense. But eventually, they will. Sometimes I always say, it's not everything you do, it's for money. And not everything that you do makes sense. And not everything that makes sense you do. There are things you do which don't really make sense. And there are things which, you know, they make sense, but you don't do them. If you're starting anything, there will be those moments. I remember another story. For me, I'll just give those instances where you really feel discouraged, and I want to encourage someone because of that. Initially, she did a lot of WhatsApp messages, broadcast, and I remember there's the one particular person. She used to send her messages, and I don't know if she called her or she wrote back, please don't be sending me those messages. If I need to do anything, I'll order from you, I'll call you. So if somebody tells you that, you can imagine, how do you even sleep, how do you wake up the following day? But, you know, we've always given ourselves this philosophy. The worst a person can do is just to say no. I'll not buy, whatever, and you move on to the next one. So sometimes those are temporary defeats, and really that's where the journey makes the difference. Because if you overcome those temporary defeats, you feel like it doesn't make sense. You try and explain somebody what you want to do, and okay, but they only idea poor. Not because they understand, or even they really understand what you do, but they are not go whatever it is you want to do. But the good thing, it always comes from within and not from without. Even in our normal life, the Christian life that we live every day, if you are to depend on what comes or you see from outside, somebody sang and said you don't even get out of your bed, because the first thing you get is a text message from Kenya Power telling you that your power bill is due, and more, on top of that, that bill is inflated. Like for last month, I've been struggling with Kenya Power. They sent me a bill of 8,000. I'm wondering what I'm doing with power in my house. So those are the things that. But then you wake up, you dust yourself, you keep going, and also now maybe another thing that always being a challenge. And I've talked with a number of people in business. The people that work for you, they can only call the difference. We are living in a times where people like honesty, integrity, people don't value that. People want to come, stay for some time, they steal the idea, they go and try and duplicate it somewhere. Or they work very hard when you're around. But the moment unapiga kona evil, it's a total mess. I remember there was a time we had a very shaky human resource of people who are working. And every time the customer was sending you photos. This CG is rotten, this is bad, this is smashed, and that is the most discouraging thing. Because you're trying to offer this person convenience, you're offering them quality. So when you take them an avocado that is smashed, and you know how people love avocados. So what are you telling me? You're inconveniencing me instead of, giving me that convenience. So I would urge, if you're a young person, if somebody has given you that position to work for them, before anything else, remember that's a God service. You're serving God in that position. You might not be the best position in terms of salaries, whatever, but remember, that's a God service that you're doing. When I was working, I always went by that philosophy. And I thought, before I serve anybody, before I serve my boss, let me serve God. Have that integrity, Doesn't have to, that you have a system where you clock in. You don't be early to job, because if you don't get on time, your salary will be deducted. But no, there's something that you're serving beyond that. And the Bible tells us, it talks about whatever you plant, whatever you sow, you shall do what? You shall reap. And the reaping will come definitely at some point in your life. So, for me, let me call my wife Mother here. I think she has her story or whatever, and she'll do that. And it's a great honor to see all of you, to sit here, to come and have this glorious day with us, to leave everything else. I know there are people with very small babies here, I can see them, and they said, no, we need to be here. So for me, it's an honor, and also to declare, I'm the pastor in my house, to declare that this business is blessed, to say that it's going beyond whatever you can imagine. It's going places. People's life will be changed through the Smart Hub groceries. I think she has already figured out how Smart Hub will be. You're able to control. If somebody tells you, I need organic spinach, that's her idea. She knows she'll need to buy the land, the preparations, and all those. And I think those are things in the pipeline. And I'm trusting God and believing with her that all these things will come to be.